It's Saturday and we are just out and about trying to get some stuff done, and we are going to send some soil samples of our garden and of our pasture. I'm actually even going to send one from my raised beds, and we're going to do this I do that for our pastures, and we've really never done it for our garden. And as we've learned watching others, it's a good idea to get soil samples from your garden. Tells you what you may need, especially for specific crops. Although we rotate the crops on here, you know, we've always done it the old-timey way where they just throw out some fertilizer, and so our crop production is as good as we've had some, may be better if we get the soil better.
Mm-hmm.
So whether you use commercial fertilizer or if you want completely organic, you can actually tell them when you do your soil samples, when you send it. We send ours to Auburn, and if you want strictly organic, no chemical fertilizers, they can tell you what to put in it to get it ready for whatever crop you're wanting to plant for that spring. For us, we do use a chemical fertilizer. We've slowly tried to be more organic. My raised beds are predominantly organic. We just use, so I may label that as organic, and we're just experimenting with what works better. So most of the garden now is basically cover crop. We are going to plant something in the fall, but really our soil samples are going to be for spring, what we might need. It may change a little bit, but hopefully not much. But I'd like to get them sent off so we know what we need to prepare for. You can do this for your yard. You can do it for fruit trees. You can do it for anything you want. You can actually send samples for nematodes, things like that. You have to do that separately. But today we're just going to do a little video of me doing the samples. We're going to start in the garden
with the shade,
where it's shaded. It is going to be hot today.
It's shaded, so yeah.
So we're going to start here. We're going to get about 20 samples from each plot. So we've got these divided into plots, so we're going to sample these plots. And anything you're going to cultivate, you need to get about 6 to 8 inches deep. Get a sliver of that sample, put it in a bucket, get your 20, mix it real good, and then we'll send that off. When we go out to the pasture, we'll only have to get about 2 to 3 inches deep. We'll do a little video of that as well, but we're going to start here, and then we'll go to our raised beds, and then we'll hit the pasture. All right, so in the garden we're going to start with a plot. What we're going to do is we're going to get 6 to 8 inches down, get a sample of that. I'm going to put it in a clean bucket, and we're going to get about 15 or 20 samples zigzag through the garden, through this plot. Put it in here, mix it together. We'll get about a pint of that and put it in a box that we're going to label what number plot and what we're going to grow in this plot. And so, we've never really numbered these plots, so I think I'm going to start from the front, which we've got covered with a tarp right now. We're going to just call that 1. We're going to call where the corn is 2. This will be 3. That'll be 4. This will be 5. And that will be 6. So that way we know by numbering them that way, when we send the box off, what we want to plant in the spring. We'll label it, tell them that. They'll tell us what we need to do to fertilize to get this soil to the best of its ability for planting the crop that we want to plant in the spring. Okay, so got this first batch mixed up. While I was doing this, I thought there's an easier way to do this. I'm gonna try that next go around. But basically, I took, about 20 samples in this plot, and we've got it mixed, and so I'm gonna basically put a pint of this dirt in this bag. And I just got to be able to get it in that box and make sure it'll fit in there. I think that will be close. We'll put a little bit more in there.
All right, you'll get that in there. Take the air out of it.
This dirt's a little moist, so it says to send it in a plastic bag. Of course, I just took the zipper right off of that, but it's okay. So I'm gonna see if I can pack it in there, which I can, just like that. We've got our first sample. That's a good full box of dirt. So they'll be able to sample. We'll label it. We'll put, who we are, what number, what plot number, and the crop to be grown. And so there's number one. So I'm gonna do another one, but I think next time I'm going to, instead of making a bigger pile of dirt, I'm gonna mix, as I do the samples, I'm gonna mix the samples that I have and take a scoop of that sample and put it in the bucket. And then that way, as I do 4 or 5 buckets, 4 or 5 spots, I'll mix that one little bit, put a scoop in the bucket, so that at the end of that, when I have 20 samples, I won't have, a bunch of dirt in a thing that I got to mix up. It'll be a small amount that I can mix up and put in the bag. So it takes me a while to figure things out. Now I can just mix this small section.
Hey, Murph. Hey, buddy. You missed out on the mouse. Colonel had a play friend. Go see your buddy. Here comes your buddy. Look. Hey, buds. Best of friends.
Plot one. raised beds. And this dirt, obviously, if you look at this dirt compared to the ground dirt, you can see definite difference in quality. This is where we grow our tomatoes. And so this dirt is a lot more loose, and we're going to try to put our onions in here this fall, and for that reason, so we're going to get this sent off, mix it good, and see what we're going to need to add to it. I'll be curious to see. Although those tomatoes are heavy eaters, they probably took a lot of nutrition out of this dirt. All right, so we've got the soil samples done, and we'll send them off Monday. Then we'll see what we need to do as far as fertilizing our land. And now we're doing some other stuff today.
On to the next project.
We won't video that, but we're just putting some extra fertilizer. I say fertilizer, we're just spreading some rabbit poop and stuff like that on.
Cleaning out the rabbit barn and spreading that throughout our property as compost.
Yeah, so just adding some natural stuff to it, and we'll see what we need to do come springtime.
Yeah, we appreciate you watching Perry Hill Farms.
Yep.
And if you like us, subscribe down below and hit the like button. Help us out there a lot. But thank you for following us.
Yep.
What does Eric say?
Stumpy always says a simple life is a much more enjoyable life. So depends on how you define simple, don't it?
God bless you guys.